If you're serious about losing fat in 2025, not just water weight or temporary scale dips, but actual visible fat loss that sticks, this is the video for you. I'm gonna walk you through a proven step-by-step blueprint that I use with my clients to help them drop 30, 40, even 100 pounds in some cases, without giving up their favorite foods or spending hours in the gym. Whether you are a beginner or somebody restarting after a long break, or you're just fed up with slow results, this is the guide you've been looking for. And I'm not just giving you the steps, I'm also showing you the most common mistakes to avoid at each stage so you don't sabotage your own progress. Step number 1, diet, the foundation of fat loss. Nutrition is the most powerful tool in your fat loss toolbox. If your goal is to burn fat, the very first thing you need to get under control is what you're putting in your body. To lose body fat, you must be burning more calories than you're taking in on a daily basis. This is known as a calorie deficit. You don't really want to be guessing at this first step. There are a few different ways to figure out how many calories you need to be putting in your body for fat loss. The first is very, very easy. You're just going to take your body weight and you're going to times it by 10. That gives you a rough estimate of how many calories you should be taking in. This should also put you in a deficit. I personally like to use online calculators for this. You can find them anywhere, just Google it. You'll have to put in your sex, your weight, your height, and your activity levels currently, and it'll give you an estimated calorie intake of your basal metabolic rate. I'll put a link in the comments below to my favorite online calculator so you can figure it out. Studies consistently show that people who are in a moderate calorie deficit, around 500 calories per day, ultimately leads to more success on their weight loss journey than extreme dieting does. So my advice is to be really diligent about getting this number correctly so you know exactly what you need to put in your body. The second step is to prioritize your protein. Protein is the most important macronutrient when it comes to fat loss. It helps keep you full, supports your metabolism, and also allows you to maintain your muscle mass as you're losing fat. Because you're going to be in a calorie deficit, you don't want to slack on protein because you will start to lose muscle fairly quickly. A good goal for this is about 1 gram per pound of body weight. If you're looking to lose 20 or 30 pounds, this is going to work out perfectly for you. However, if you're extremely obese, let's say 400 pounds, and your goal weight right now is to get down to 300 pounds, there's no way you're going to eat 400 grams of protein per day. So what you want to do is you want to take your goal weight at that current time and just eat that many grams of protein per day. So if I'm 300 pounds and I want to weigh 220 pounds, I would eat 220 grams of protein each day. Sources like eggs, Greek yogurt, lean meats, and protein powders are convenient and effective ways to get your protein in each day. Higher protein diets are also linked to better long-term weight management in individuals. Most of us are drastically under-eating protein on a daily basis. So this may take you a couple weeks or even a few months to build up to that certain amount of grams of protein per day. Step number 3, a pretty obvious one. Limit your refined carbohydrate intake. I'm not talking carbohydrates in general. I'm talking refined carbohydrates with added sugar. Things like white bread, sugary foods, cereals, donuts, etc. These foods are known to spike your blood glucose levels, which are just going to leave you more hungry within an hour of eating them. When these foods dominate your diet, they contribute to fat storage, energy crashes, and overall more cravings. Cutting back on them helps regulate your appetite and energy levels. Instead of demonizing carbohydrates, focus on the good ones. Fruits, starchy vegetables, whole grains. These foods tend to have high fiber content, which is great for a fat loss diet. There's also tons of nutrients in there. Remember, carbohydrates aren't bad, but the type and the amount do matter. Step number 4 in your diet, don't drink your calories. One of the easiest ways to derail your fat loss journey is by ingesting liquid calories. Things like soda, sweetened coffee, fruit juice, energy drinks, and definitely alcohol can add hundreds of calories per day without filling you up. For example, a popular coffee shop frappuccino is going to cost you about 400 calories. That's basically a full meal. Liquid calories also bypass satiety clues from the body. so you often don't compensate by eating less later. Stick with water, black coffee, or 0-calorie options 95% of the time. I don't care what anyone says, a couple Coke Zeros per day are much better than drinking 2 regular Cokes in a day. The 0-calorie options are much, much better for people in a fat loss phase. Number 5, make sure to eat mindfully. Mindful eating means slowing down, paying attention to your body's interaction with food, and removing distractions while you eat. When you eat quickly or while distracted, you tend to overeat without even realizing it. Take 15 to 20 minutes to eat your meals. Chew thoroughly and pause halfway through the meal to assess your body's reaction to the calories that you've intaken already. This simple habit can naturally reduce the amount of calories that you're taking in, and it can also increase the satisfaction you get from that food. Think of how easy it is to oversnack and overeat while you're watching TV. Mindful eating has been shown in multiple studies to reduce binge eating and increase healthy weight loss options. The last step in this nutrition phase, number 6, is to consider tracking your macros. Macros are your proteins, your carbohydrates, and your fats, and tracking them can give you information as far as where these calories are coming from. Even if you don't do it forever, tracking for a few weeks can give you a ton of information about your dietary patterns and how much calories you're actually intaking on a daily basis. Like we said before, many people are not getting enough protein and they're eating way too much fat and carbohydrates. You're never gonna know any of this stuff until you start tracking it. There's plenty of apps nowadays that make this process super easy. Things like MyFitnessPal, MacroFactor, Calorie Counter, all of them are good. You don't wanna start obsessing about this, but you do wanna get a really good baseline of where you're currently at and where those calories are coming from so that you can make adjustments to help your fat loss journey. So 4 mistakes to avoid when it comes to your diet and nutrition. The first one is over-restricting too quickly. Jumping into an extreme diet with very low calories is likely going to yield you some short-term results quickly, but it's rarely sustainable. You're likely going to lose a bunch of water weight and even muscle before you start to burn fat. Also, aggressive restriction tends to lead to binge eating and definitely burnout. It's better to start gradually and moderately. Think of this as a marathon, not a sprint. The second mistake to avoid is ignoring liquid calories. Many people think that they're doing great with their food, but they always forget the liquid calories. The weekend beers, the morning frappuccinos, all of that stuff adds up, and you may not even be realizing it. These calories add up quick, and they often go unnoticed. If your fat loss has stalled, take a hard look at the drinks you're putting in your body. Cutting 300 to 500 daily calories in liquid beverages can jumpstart your fat loss. The third mistake to avoid when it comes to nutrition is skipping protein at meals. Protein isn't just for bodybuilders, it's for anyone looking to lose fat. Skipping protein, especially at breakfast early on in the day, sets you up for a disaster. Low energy, poor blood sugar control, and cravings are likely going to hit you in the afternoon. Make it a rule to include a lean protein source at every meal. It should be the building block of each meal that you make. It's one of the most impactful tweaks that you can make. The last mistake to avoid is to try eating perfectly every day. You don't have to be perfect to make progress. And a lot of times, chasing that perfection is just going to lead you to more of a depressed state. Use the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, eat those whole foods, nutritious foods, high protein, etc. This gives you 20% of the time to be flexible with your nutrition and to not beat yourself up over having the occasional cheat meal or a day where it goes off the rails. This helps you stay consistent and actually enjoy the process, which is the whole point to begin with. Now that we've given the step-by-step for your diet and nutrition, let's get into the actual training portion. Step number 2, training. Burn fat, keep muscle. You can't out-train a bad diet, but the right training program can transform how your body looks and feels during your fat loss journey. Step number 1, combine strength training with cardio. Both types of training play complementary roles to your body in your fat loss journey. Cardiovascular exercise helps you burn calories and improve your heart health, while strength training helps preserve your lean muscle mass. In combination, these two boost your metabolism more than just doing one. If you're only doing cardio, your risk of becoming skinny fat is pretty high, where you're losing weight, but a lot of that weight is actually muscle. Alternating your strength and cardio days can be beneficial for most people, or you can combine them smartly to help maximize your results. Don't pick one or the other. Do both. Step number 2, lift weights 3 to 4 times per week. This is going to be the sweet spot for most people. If you have some experience with strength training, I want you to start focusing on some compound movements such as squatting, deadlifting, bench pressing, etc. The reason is that these work multiple muscle groups at one time and allow you to train more efficiently and get more bang for your buck. You don't need fancy machines or Olympic lifts or anything like that. You can build a pretty good physique with bodyweight exercises, lighter dumbbells, even bands. If you're new to strength training, starting with machines is a great way to go. It's very simple to do. Whether you're new or experienced in the gym, you definitely need to show up consistently, and you definitely need to be tracking your workouts and your progress. Reason being is you don't want to lift the same weights, the same repetitions every single workout. Your body is going to get stale and you're not going to progress. You either want to be trying to lift a little bit more weight each time or possibly even more repetitions with the same weight. If you do this at each workout, this is called progressively overloading, and it's one of the best tools to help keep you going and maintaining progress week after week after week. Strength training helps protect your muscles while you're dieting and losing fat. It also helps improve your mobility, your posture, and your injury resistance. Step number 3, do 150 plus minutes of cardio per week. This can be brisk walking, cycling, Peloton bike, row machine, whatever. You can really split this up however you want to. You can do 30 minutes 5 days a week, or you can do 2 45-minute sessions with a long weekend session in there somewhere. This cardio doesn't need to be intense. In fact, the more intense it is, the worse it's going to be for fat loss. It does, however, need to be consistent. Shoot for an intensity level where you can still have a conversation with somebody. But that person will notice that you are a little short of breath and it's hard to hold a long conversation. Normally, this is going to put you in your zone 2, which is going to be best zone for fat loss with this type of cardio. For fat loss, it's more about frequency than it is intensity. Tying into this is step number 4, which is walking 8 to 10,000 steps per day. This can count as your cardio time as well, as long as it's brisk enough and your heart rate's slightly getting high. Walking is one of the best things you can do for fat loss and the easiest. You don't need any equipment, you just need a pair of shoes. You can break this up into multiple walks per day. You don't have to do all 8,000 or 10,000 steps at one time. Break them up into smaller 10 to 15 minute chunks. Another great way to break this up is to go for a 15 to 20 minute walk each time you eat a meal. This has been shown in multiple studies to help control your blood sugar much, much better than just walking at random times. Studies show that higher step counts per day are strongly correlated with better long-term weight loss results. So get your steps in. Okay, here's some mistakes to avoid while getting into training. First one is doing too much too soon. If you jump into working out 6 days a week or doing super high intensity cardio and weightlifting, you're likely going to burn out, get injured, or both. You need to start with something where you can stick to it. 3 strength sessions per week and daily walking is a perfect place to start for most people. If you're doing that, you're going to make progress. You can always add in more sessions as you become more resilient. Build your consistency before your intensity. More isn't always better. Better is better. Mistake number 2, skipping strength work. We talked a bit about this already. Doing just cardio is going to make you skinny fat. You're going to lose muscle along the way and not have the body that you want. I primarily work with men over 40. However, a lot of women approach me and tell me that they want to get toned or they want to get fit, or they want to look toned. And what they're lacking is strength training. They're not doing it. Strength work is an investment in your long-term metabolism. The more you do now, the better that is going to be down the road. Mistake number 3, not tracking progress. Doing the same workouts over and over with the same weights and the same repetitions is not going to get you anywhere. Your body adapts quickly. You need to change with it. You need to challenge it at each workout. Keep a simple workout log with pen and paper each time you go to the gym, or there are a lot of apps out there where you can track your progress with each exercise. I don't care which one you use, but make sure you're writing it down, and next gym session, doing more. Mistake number 4, neglecting recovery. Training without resting is like revving your engine without oil. Overtraining leads to fatigue, poor performance, and stalled fat loss. At least 1 to 2 rest days per week are recommended, along with quality sleep to prevent burnout. Remember, rest is part of the process. You don't want to get too comfortable with it, but you need some. All right, we talked about nutrition and we talked about training. The last section we're going to talk about is lifestyle, which includes recovery, stress, and sustainability. Lifestyle habits are often the most underrated fat loss hack you can use. You can have the perfect nutrition and workout plan, but if you sleep 3 hours a night and are constantly stressed, your progress is going to be very slow. The first step is to make sure that you're prioritizing your sleep. Sleep is when your body recovers, your hormones are balanced, and your body is most efficient at burning fat. Getting less than 6 hours per night is also going to increase your ghrelin output, which is essentially a hormone that makes you hungry and want a snack. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. And no, this is not just time in your bed staring at your phone. This is actual sleeping time. This probably means you're going to have to adjust your routine. Your bedroom needs to be super dark. You need to not be staring at your phone 1 hour before bed, or also your laptop. Things like blackout curtains, wearing a sleep mask, having a noise machine, all can make a big impact in your sleep quality. If you're having trouble sleeping, there are a lot of tips and tools that you can start to use, but most people just aren't going to bed early enough. That's the bottom line. Improved sleep equals better workouts, better willpower, and faster fat loss. Make it a priority. Number 2, managing your stress. Chronic stress keeps cortisol high, which is a hormone that's going to store belly fat. The body doesn't distinguish between financial stress, poor sleep, or overtraining. It just reacts. Find daily stress outlets that fit into your life the best. For some, that can be walking, journaling, reading, meditating, yoga. Whatever helps you calm down is something that you should be using. When stress is high, cravings go up, recovery goes down, and motivation suffers. Managing stress is fat loss insurance. Lifestyle step number 3, stay hydrated. The majority of your body is water, and even mild dehydration can negatively impact your fat loss journey. Even a lot of times when you think you're hungry, you're actually just thirsty, especially between meals. Start your day with 16 ounces of water, and do that before each meal as well. You don't need to drink a gallon or 2 gallons of water per day, but you probably do need a little bit more than you're drinking now. A simple rule to follow is if your urine is pale yellow, you're probably doing an okay job. If it's anything darker than that, you're likely dehydrated. Hydration also supports your digestion, your energy levels, and your appetite control. So if you're just drinking coffee and soda throughout the day, we got to switch over. Lifestyle step number 4 is to be consistent, not perfect. No one follows their plan 100%, and you don't need to get results. What matters most is consistency over time. This means showing up for yourself even on average days, stacking small wins, and getting back on track when life happens. We have a saying in my coaching group, never miss twice. What this basically means is if you miss a workout one day, you're not going to miss it the next day. If you have a bad day with cheat meals, the next day you're going to be back on the 80-20 rule. As long as you're not extending these losses consecutively day after day after day, it's impossible to not make progress. You'll never need to stop starting over if you just never quit in the first place. Progress compounds when you're consistent. Okay, lifestyle mistakes to avoid. Neglecting sleep. Sleep is non-negotiable. There's no way around it. If you're skipping it, your results are going to be poor. Before you change anything with your nutrition and your weight training, you need to change your sleep. Mistake number 3, being inconsistent on the weekends. Weekends are almost 40% of your week. And if you're doing great Monday through Friday and throwing in the towel and going crazy on the weekends, guess what? You can expect 40% of those results to not be there. Skipped workouts, cheat meals, alcohol tend to creep in on the weekends. You need to be super mindful of this and plan accordingly. This doesn't mean not ever being able to enjoy yourself, but you do need to take into consideration that you have fat to lose, and by cheating yourself every weekend, those are never going to become reality. Next mistake to avoid, trying to do it all alone. Accountability is a game changer. Whether it's a coach, a supportive partner, or some type of community you're involved in, having someone to check in with on a consistent basis is phenomenal. We're all human. We forget, we get discouraged, we drift away from our plan. But when someone's in your corner, it's much easier to stay the course. Fat loss is hard, but it's easier together. Let's recap your ultimate fat loss blueprint for 2025. Number 1, create a calorie deficit. Number 2, eat enough protein. Number 3, reduce refined carbohydrates and sugar. Number 4, don't drink your calories. Number 5, strength train 3 to 4 times per week. Number 6, do at least 150 minutes of cardio per week. Number 7, walk 8 to 10,000 steps per day. Number 8, sleep 7 to 9 hours per night. Number 9, manage your stress. Number 10, be consistent, not perfect. Number 11, avoid common mistakes that sabotage your progress. Number 12, get support and accountability. This works. My clients follow this exact blueprint and they all get results. Not just on the scale, but how they look, how they feel, and more importantly, how they live. If this video helped you in any way, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to help get it to more people. Also, leave a comment with your biggest takeaway from the video. The channel just hit 1,000 subscribers last week, so thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me, and I'm glad we're changing some lives together. And if you're ready to stop guessing and get a customized plan built out for you, message me or click the link in the description to see if online coaching is a good option for you. We'll build your personal fat loss program together. I'll hold you accountable, and you'll finally see the progress that you've been chasing. Let's make 2025 your strongest, leanest, and best year yet. See you in the next video.